This podcast episode. Sorry. Okay. I'm not ready.
This podcast episode is brought to you by The Cry Lounge. The Cry Lounge is an independent publishing company founded by this podcast host, Bonnie Obson. The Cry Lounge transfers your daydreams onto paper. With 2 book releases the past 2 years, they are preparing to extend their service to other authors and other creatives. To get more details and support this show, there's a link in the description you can check out. The Cry Lounge looks forward to meeting
Howdy everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Bonnie's Legends. I am very excited to say that this is the very first episode I'm releasing for my music section called Oh Pretty New Music. I've started this music section more than a year ago in December 2021. I've had this idea for a long time, but when my good friends from Newcastle, the Time Wasters, announced their single California, I knew I had to, very spontaneously, I just put everything together. I was like, yeah, all right, I'm doing this. You're listening to an interview I've done in July 2022 with the legendary Emily Yoke and Elizabeth Gerardi. I really enjoy talking to them about Jonestown, which is still such a banger. Let's just say this. Let's just give Jonestown a moment. This song came out in July, and I'm still listening to it on a regular basis. And during editing these recordings, I always listen to the song on repeat too, just to get to get into the vibe. And it's like the TikTok meme that's going on around with Christian Bale walking down the corridor and having a poker face, and meanwhile I'm listening to Jonestown in my ears. So there you go. Emily has released soon after this interview an EP, Just Hearing the Piano. Very, very beautiful songs. You have to check it out. And Elizabeth has released an EP too soon after that. So check out both of their EPs that came out afterwards, after checking out Jonestown if you haven't already. And also huge congrats. I mean, it's so belated, but huge congrats to Elizabeth getting married. In this interview, she talks about her fiance, and they're actually now married. So congrats to that. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to listen to this week's Bonnie's Legends interview with Olivia Di Toma, and next week's new episode of A Pretty New Music, which features another artist I interviewed last summer about their new single. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and stream Elizabeth's and Emily's music. Ladies and gentlemen, here are Emily Yoke and Elizabeth Gerardi. So we're starting with the Bonnie's Legends check. We have to maybe figure out how we're doing it. I always did it with one person. Now you're 2. Maybe you just say it. Maybe you want to answer, so the Bonnie's Legends check, maybe you answer both. So the first question would be, what's your name?
I'm Emily Yoke.
And I'm Elizabeth Gerardi.
Nice. And when's your birthday?
My birthday is August 29th.
December 30th.
Sagittarius.
Nice.
Capricorn, actually.
Man, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. Okay, never mind that.
And I remember that I remember actually that you have birthday in August and that you're Virgo because I have birthday 3 days before you. I remember that.
August Virgos.
Yeah. Who is your legend? The podcast and like the entire project is called Bonnie's Legends because I interview my legends. So what will be your legend?
Well, I probably said this the last time, but obviously mine is Lana Del Rey. I think that she's like the most talented woman alive, and as well as Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Wow. We're gonna have all the same answers, aren't we? I'd probably be like Taylor first and then Lana Del Rey, but like they're both just like brilliant and so talented.
Yeah, I actually have like my listeners of the podcast are actually huge Lana Del Rey and Taylor Swift fans. So
yeah, I mean you have to, like, everyone is. They're just who aren't fans of Taylor and Lana.
Yeah, that's true. What's an album that has no skips?
Born to Die. This is gonna be like a Lana fan club meeting, isn't it?
Lana Stan station right now. Mine is gonna be Norman fucking Rockwell.
There's only like I don't like Bartender, but like that's my second favorite album.
I love that one. I mean, obviously I have no skips, but yeah.
I go with Norman fucking Rockwell as well.
Also for Folklore. Folklore is my favorite.
Me too. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
You are here with me today about your new single Jonestown. Maybe you want to introduce yourself a bit, talk a bit about your career, what you already put out, how you maybe met each other.
Yeah. Well, I started a little over a year ago. I released He Loves You. And that was like my debut single, and it went really well. And that just kind of like spearheaded like, I don't know, the rest of my life trying to pursue music. And since then I released one other song, and both of them were, I would say, pretty dramatic, pretty moody, pretty I don't know, like, I can't even describe it. Like, I don't have the words, just not very poppy and not very like, really just hits you like in the heart more so than like fun. And I kind of wanted to, like, since I was comfortable with those two singles and like the year of like really like crafting like hard hitting sad music, I guess I wanted to come out with something that showed a completely different side of me. That's like a huge part of me, which is the more like fun, I don't know, poppier, edgier version maybe. So yeah, that's where we are now with Jonestown.
And I heard her song He Loves You like when she first, like, she had like one like big TikTok, like it went kind of viral or something. So when I saw that was like the first time that I'd ever like pre-saved a song from, like, I'm constantly begging people to pre-save my songs, and that was the first time I was like, this song is so good, I need to pre-save it. I was like an instant fan. And then I was started to notice that like when people would like tag me in like their like playlists, or it would be like their most listened to songs, that like my songs were on there and so were hers. So we kind of have like a similar fan base. And since I was such a fan of her, I slid into her DMs and proposed working together. So that's kind of how it started. So I started putting out music in 2019. And I think I really, like, in the beginning, I was kind of figuring out my sound, and I would kind of just like, I would write a song and I would bring it to my producer and be like, do what you want with it, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And then eventually, like, he and I together kind of like figured out my own unique sound. So I would say like a little over a year ago, I started like releasing music that I feel like is true to my sound. So the last like 6 or 7 songs that I've released are like a very much like an embodiment of like me and what I want my music to be going forward. So that first song that I released that like felt like that to me was Cherry Cola. And then I've released a few others. My biggest song so far was called Young Love and Old Money, which I wrote from the perspective of Daisy Buchanan in The Great Gatsby. And that was like, it did so much better than I expected. And it was my first song to hit 1 million streams. And it was a really exciting moment for me. And now I've released a few other songs since then. One is Miss Rhode Island, and the other is Greater Than Gatsby, which is like my favorite song I've ever written. It's so fun and poppy, and it's like so personal too. It's like about my real relationship, even though it's also Gatsby inspired with the title. But
yeah, I wanted to see that. I saw a Gatsby theme in your songs.
Yeah, only 2, and I need to stop now before I like myself. Like, it's getting a little ridiculous, but you know.
Good. We're here for Gatsby. What is the title of your new single, and when does it come out?
Our new single is called Jonestown, and it comes out on Friday, July 22nd.
Nice. I'm so excited to listen to it, though.
I'm so excited for you to hear it.
Yeah, I'm listening to like the snippet you shared on Instagram. I'm like listening to that nonstop.
Oh.
Does the title have a special meaning, or how did you come up with the title?
Well, although it's like a, I don't know, poppier sound, the song was definitely rooted in a bit more edginess, and a bit more of like real life experience with like toxic relationships. And the kind of whole premise of the song is that it's written from the perspective of a girl who is just in like maybe her first relationship, maybe like a whirlwind of a relationship that's not very good, but she's like enthralled, and she knows it's not okay, but she doesn't really care. Like, it's just like one of those. And so I called it Jonestown, and the first line is "You're my Jonestown on a sunny day," because of like the Jonestown like cult experience. I just kind of wanted it to have like a very extreme metaphor to show like this is a bad situation, but like,
yeah. But I love that you wrote like that on sunny day. Like, she's like trying to make it into like a beautiful scenario, even though it's like Jonestown was like anything but beautiful.
Yeah,
but she's fantasizing.
Exactly.
Who wrote what? How did you two maybe decide on which lines singing who?
Yeah. So I kind of had like, I don't know, a baseline for the song. I think I had like the first verse and like a chorus situation, and I had like the instrumentation and whatever. Like, I had like a baseline for it, and then Elizabeth DM'd me about it, and she really took the song by the horns and kind of restructured it. And you can talk more about that, but yeah, I wrote the chorus and the first verse, and then Elizabeth wrote her verse and the bridge, and kind of restructured the song.
Yeah. When I first heard it, she posted it on TikTok, a little snippet of it, and I was like, whoa, this is so good. I wish I wrote this. And then I was so find out that it wasn't finished, so I could finish writing it. And that part that she had posted was just like so catchy. And originally I don't think it was intended to be a chorus. So I definitely thought like that should be the chorus, because you always want like the catchiest like earworm to be what's repeated throughout the song. And then I didn't even know what Jonestown was, like the cult, until I like when you sent me the song, I like Googled it. And then I kind of wrote my verse and the bridge like kind of around that same situation. I was able to understand like what you were like talking about, like a toxic relationship. And so I created the second verse that had like lyrics similar to that situation, and then I did the bridge as well.
Nice. You maybe want to explain to the reader or listener what Jonestown is in like short, not like a Wikipedia explanation, just
Jonestown was essentially a religious cult in which the leader of the cult, Jim Jones, ended up committing a mass murder of over 900 people. It was obviously a awful, horrible tragedy. Some of the people were committed suicide, and some of the people actually were injected with poison, all because Jim Jones was requesting this to happen as kind of like a religious sacrifice. But in America, it's blown up into like this massive pop culture, I don't know, kind of thing that we're all aware of, and it's kind of been diminished to the whole phrase like drink the Kool-Aid. That's like a very common phrase. But yeah, so when I was writing the song, I kind of used Jonestown as like, oh, it's like this horrible, it's this obviously horrible thing, but she loves the guy so much and the guy is so horrible. It's like she'd go along with anything he said, kind of like, even though in a cult setting, and especially the Jonestown Massacre, it's a much more obviously high stakes, heightened situation. It's like, you know, likening this love story to a cult, and a very dangerous cult.
A funny anecdote about a moment of like coming up with, I don't know, the melody, or a funny anecdote about working together that you want to share?
Well, I don't know if this is funny, but Elizabeth flabbergasted me with her planning abilities and her I don't know, stick to itiveness with me, because I am really bad about like planning and responding in a timely manner. Like I feel like I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. And Elizabeth like really honestly made this happen because she was like persistent and planned things and like really like I feel like she wove the fabric of the song, like for real.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Were you like in person, or did you all do it online?
All online.
Online. Yeah, we're in different states. So it was all online, and I was actually like watching a movie with my mom, and like it was like not a very good movie. And that was she had sent me like the like what she had of Jonestown already. And my mom thought I was watching the movie with her, but I was in my head writing lyrics. And like so throughout like the like 2 hours of the movie that like I finished all of my lyrics and I sent it over. Yeah, and then I recorded my vocals here and sent them to Emily, and she did all like the production stuff, which I'm like, that's something I'm blown away by. Like I do not have that talent. I wish I did. Yeah.
Yeah, the production is really good.
So good.
What is this is my favorite question to ask. What is your favorite lyric line in it?
My favorite is definitely, there's a line that says, "You're the last thing I'll experience with wide eyes." Because I feel like I've definitely had many moments like that before in my life, where like I've experienced something and I felt like I will never be the same again. Like that really changed the trajectory of my life. And I feel like this relationship that the song is about is like, this girl will never be able to view relationships and people in the same way.
Yeah. I think my favorite is one I wrote in the bridge, which is I don't want to dance unless it's with the devil himself. And I feel like that just like fit in so well with the vibe, because I think the cult, it was like a religious experience that they were like the whole Jonestown thing. And just again, like she knows that this guy is bad for her and like could be like the devil, but that's the only person that she wants to be with. So I really like that lyric.
We want to talk about the visuals. So it's like the photo you shared on the Instagram. Is that like the cover, or?
Yeah, that's the cover. That's actually, so the picture is of like a sign, and it says Jonestown on it, and the song is like very like summery to me, and that's actually a film picture from like place that me and my mom stayed at the beach last summer, and I just like took out what the hotel was called and put Jonestown on it in place of that. So yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Also, so you have I haven't figured out how to do that in Photoshop yet.
I think I use PixArt. I've been using it since I was like 7. Like I'm on that phone editing all the time.
Wow. Well, respect. I would have no idea how to do that. Okay, so when the song is coming out on Friday, where's the perfect place to be for listening to the single for the first time?
For me, it would be a warm day with the windows down, driving in the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, I listen to it all the time in the car. Like I drive my fiance crazy because every time we get in the car, like I have like a few songs, like I play my own songs, and he gets, I mean, he's so supportive and he likes my music, but he gets a little tired of it when I'm like constantly playing the same few songs over again. But Jonestown has become one of those songs. So whenever we get in the car, I roll the windows down and play it.
Nice. I think this is the most common answer all artists are giving, like sitting in the car listening to the song. This is a new question. So I have like a set of questions I'm always asking for the music blog. And this is a new one. So you're the first ones I asked that question. If you could send the song to any artist dead or alive, knowing they'd listen to it, who would it be?
Ooh. I would say Taylor Swift for me. I think she would really like it. I think she like would enjoy the like darker meanings with the like poppier production. I feel like she's done that a few times, and she also has like talked about how she's a fan of Lana Del Rey, and it kind of has a similar vibe to that. So, and I think I would die if Taylor ever heard anything I've ever written. So
this is a really hard question for me. I want to say Lana Del Rey just because how could I not? But I feel like that's my answer for probably everything. But yeah, I'm gonna say Lana Del Rey.
Nice. So you chose like both of your legends to like listen to the song. That's good. And also it's funny because, you know, as I said, I'm always usually interviewing like just one artist about this single, and you were like a duet. So you have like 2 artists you can actually send it to. That was actually interesting. Yeah, any honorable mentions you want to make? Someone who worked on the song, or just anyone in your life you're grateful for?
Well, I feel fortunate that I've never been in a toxic relationship like this. So I'll give a shout out to my fiance who but like this song is about, like a lot of my songs are very happy. And this is like a little bit different. So yeah, I'll give a shout out to him.
I mean, I guess I would probably just give a shout out to the people in my life who keep supporting me, and I don't think this song would have ever happened had I not had the insane support from my like slower, moodier music. I never really considered myself like a pop artist, and it's been like a challenge to me to learn how to make pop music and faster paced music. So I mean, the support is so overwhelming from everyone in my life. So I'm really, really thankful for that.
Well, congrats on you both for like making a song and putting it out. I'm really excited to listen to it. This podcast episode. Sorry. Okay. I'm not ready.
This podcast episode is brought to you by The Cry Lounge. The Cry Lounge is an independent publishing company founded by this podcast host, Bonnie Hobson. The The Cry Lounge transfers your daydreams onto paper. With 2 book releases the past 2 years, they are preparing to extend their service to other authors and other creators. To get more details and support this show, there's a link in the description you can check out. The Cry Lounge looks forward to meeting